Alright guys, yo, how's it going? We've not got a lot really going on this week. I never got a single comic book through the door, I don't think. So, nothing this week. I kind of pre-ordered the Rebirth, DC Rebirth special and the Batman one. I'm just waiting on the actual Batman issue 1 to be posted up, and I'll be getting that too. So things like this kind of irritate me. I'm like, I don't want to miss out on it, so it's like, you know, I'm itching to just get it pre-ordered and get it done, but I'm checking and it's just not being put up yet by the company I use, but I'll get there eventually. But anyway, this week I actually got this a few weeks ago, but it didn't have a power cable, so I had to order a power cable, and that just came through, so I've only just managed to test it. This is the Atari 2600, 2600, however you'd say it. But this is now the oldest console I have. I think it's 79 to 83 or something like that. I really should have checked that up. It's been a while since I looked, but I think it's around that time for this console. So chuffed that it still worked. This thing was absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't know if you can see all these little notches here, but I had to clean all of those out. It was dusty, but it was sticky as well. It was like greasy. So I'm glad it's come up nice. Look at the wood paneling. It was the wood panelled one I wanted. Look at that. It's just amazing. Yeah, there you go. The Atari in silver. It's in really good condition. Yeah, you can see a little bit of dust still in there where I've not managed to get it. But yeah, so I got this, and it came with 2 controllers, both of which are missing their little rubber bits, so God knows what happened to them. But it's alright, it still goes. And I got a couple of games. I actually had 3 games already that I'd found in a charity shop and just bought. I tried them out. One of them didn't work. It was another copy of Space Invaders. So I've got 2 copies of this, but only one works. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I'm happy enough with that. This one was one that I had already. It's tennis. This thing's nuts. Yeah, and then Galaxian. I've got 2 of these, both of these work. This is just Space Invaders, but slightly different. I think these silver ones are like the platinum version, if you see what I mean, because I've got a Space Invaders in silver like this. So I think this would have been like the original one, and then, you know, this is like the you know, player's choice or whatever they're called now version. I think that's all I can think of as to why they would be different like that. And then I'm chuffed to bits with this. Got Pac-Man. Waka 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 waka. So yeah, so we'll stick in a little, but I got a bit of footage of me playing it, so we'll just stick that in here. Yo, how's it going? We're down on the at the tally here. I'm gonna get a bit of Space Invaders fired up. Hopefully it shows through okay on the... Look at it! Good start, really. Ah! Alright, that's it. Yeah, so the the Atari. I kind of got onto these kind of. Well, I was interested. I've got a Mega Drive, it would be called here, or Genesis, you guys would call it. Well, I'm saying you guys if you're in America. Genesis, the Sega Genesis was what it's called. So I had one of those, and I was interested. I was buying games for it since I moved in up here, into my house here. Kind of brought it back out of the loft and got it going again. So I've been getting games for that. But I've read this. I'm reading this. This is called Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. If any of you guys are interested in books and stuff, I recommend. Honestly, this is amazing. It's just full of all sorts of pop culture, kind of references and stuff. And the Atari's in it. There's a whole scene where he's got to, you know, play the Pac-Man, reach the high score in Pac-Man. To continue on, so like what it is there's it's like set in the distant future, and this game called the Oasis was created, and it's like a headset like your haptic gloves, and a headset like your what's it called? What's that thing called? The new one, the Oculus Rift, I think it is. It's like that, but the game is fully like it's like a you know, an open world in there. But it's reached such a stage now that everything happens within the game. Like our main character, he goes to school in the game, yeah, that's kind of it. But there's like a hidden Easter egg in the game to take over from the role of the original creator, because he never left any ancestors or anything. So if you can work out the secrets within the game, then you know you can get through to it. So it's all about Easter eggs in video games and, you know, 80s pop culture, stuff like that. So yeah, which brings me back to the Atari, because this Atari, I'm looking for a game for it called Adventure, and that game has the very first Easter egg. Basically, one of the programmers, or the head programmer, the only programmer, I don't know, programmed his name into it in a secret room. Just said, you know, created by whatever the guy's name was, and that's the very first Easter egg in video games. So I'll be looking for that. It's called Adventure. Check it out. But I mean, if you look up this book and see what it's all about, Ernest Cline is awesome. And I think at the time there was an Easter egg in this book that if you found out, you got put into a draw for a DeLorean from Back to the Future, obviously. So, you know what I mean? It's spanning all kind of 80s pop culture. But anyway, all right, guys, cheers. Sorry, there's no. Oh, actually, there is comics, because I wanted to do the Miraclemans. So let's have a look at them. So this is the Eclipse version, Eclipse Run or whatever. So it was in Warrior magazine originally, black and white, along with, you know, this is Warrior number 9, along with a couple of other. Is it 9? Sorry, it's number 7. Number 7. This is yeah. So it was in here along, like, as an anthology thing, along with like V for Vendetta and a couple of other things. So from Warrior, there is issue. Well, it's not really an issue. It's the Summer Special, 1982. This has a story that wasn't reprinted by Eclipse. I don't know if Marvel have reprinted it now, but it's called the Yesterday Gambit. So if you guys have got the Miracleman, the Marvel ones, and you've got Yesterday Gambit, it's okay. You don't need it. If not, pick up this, and that's for that. And there's also two in issue 9 of Warrior and issue 10. There's 2 Warp Smith stories that are written by Alan Moore. Not necessarily part of the Miracleman story, but the Warp Smiths appear later on, so you might want that. Yeah, so we'll just flick through these covers. I think Marvel were doing the original covers as a variant, so you might recognise some of these. Definitely that one. This is Gary Leach, who does a lot of the covers at the beginning here. Number 2. Number 3. Now this is the 3D special. This has got like a framing story, and then early reprints by Mick Anglo, but it's framed by an Alan Moore story. So this is really good. This is one of the rarer ones of the run. So I'd recommend getting your hands on this. In here, there's actually an advert for a 2D version of it. Because John Tottleben, the artist, I don't know if you know, he's got bad eyes. I think he's actually legally blind. And Kat Ironwood, I think her name was, she couldn't see the 3D with the glasses. Apparently some people can't. So they printed a 2D version of the 3D special. If you can find that, I think you just had to sign it. You just write in and say you wanted the 2D one, and they printed one for you. So I don't know how many of those there are, but there's definitely an advert in here for it. 4, 5, 6. So this is as far as he got in Warrior, before Warrior was cancelled. So this is the last book reprinting old material, and then it comes into issue 7 where where he starts writing it again, and these are his full books. These are all in, you get like 3 or 4 chapters per issue. This one's just a full book. This one is reprints with a framing story. I'm not sure if it's, no it won't be, but this one is issue 8. This is I wouldn't worry about this one, if you see what I mean. You don't really need it for the story. This is, again, Golden Age stories framed by Alan Moore. So don't worry too much about that one. Number 9, this is a famous one. If that will zoom for you. Graphic scenes of childbirth. And yeah, it's not lying, it's graphic as hell. Issue 10. Issue 11. Issue 12. John Tottleben is up there. He's one of my favourites. He's just an awesome artist. Look at that. Okay, we're getting near the end now. That's 14, 15, which you saw in my last video if you watched that, and then 16. So this is the end of the Alan Moore stuff. So, you know, 1 to 16 for him. And then we go on to Neil Gaiman's run, which was 17 to 24. So Marvel have done it weird. They went back to number 1 for this. So what is 17 of this is Neil Gaiman number 1. So 17, 18. These covers are cool. I don't know if they are McKean, but they definitely look like Dave McKean. Maybe they are. Maybe they are, I'm not sure. So what was that, sorry? 19, 20, 21, I'm sorry about the glare. 22, okay, right, so that's the Golden Age, Neil Gaiman's Golden Age. So Marvel again, instead of going on to issue 6 or whatever it would have been for his next one, have gone to Silver Age. So Silver Age is, this is 23, which is Silver Age number 1 now in the Marvel run, and then 24, which is Silver Age number 2, and that is the last book we got. So Marvel are now up to date. So Silver Age number 3 is going to go after this one. So very excited to finally find out what the hell is going on with this. And this one, this is the Marvel, the Miracleman annual. I think it was 2014 or 2015. It's got this cover anyway. It's got a story in it by Grant Morrison. This is, which was supposed to go in the next thing I'm going to show you. But this is the first new Miracleman stuff to be printed in about 20 years. So if you've not been collecting the Marvel stuff because you've got earlier ones, then at least get this, because you need this one to go in with it. So yeah, Marvelman Annual number 1. And they did this, if any of you guys read Grendel, you'll have read like Red, White and Black, Black, White and Red, Grendel stories, or like Batman Black and Whites, for example. These are in a similar vein. It's different artists and writers, and they write mini Miracleman stories set in the world. It's called the Apocrypha, and there are 3 issues of that. I think these are fairly easy. I think these are like $5 each or something. You should, if you can find them, they're not expensive. I don't know if Marvel have even tackled these, so they might be worth getting picked up. So yeah, so that's the Marvel Man ones. I would say if you were collecting V for Vendetta out of Warrior, you'll need this summer special because there's a Warrior. There's a V for Vendetta chapter in this, and this one, issue 7, has the V for Vendetta that was removed from the DC comic book. You know, the one where he makes a guy walk around the building. It was taken out of the actual V for Vendetta, but it was put back in for the trades, I think, at the end. It's in this one, number 7. There was 2 chapters taken out. I can't remember what the other one is. But you'll look it up and you'll see. So anyway, that's the Miraclemans. And yeah, that's it for this week, and we'll see you for the next one. Thanks very much.